Notice that the name of the category is eroticism, not sexuality, and that's intentional. You see, we find that there is no such thing as sex without emotions, and sex is not just mechanics. Actually, it's a far more complex combination between what your body experiences as pleasure and your emotions, how much you allow yourself to feel that pleasure. You are an erotic person. Even if you're asexual, that's still a type of eroticism. And that erotic nature is obviously tremendously important inside a relationship. Whether it is short-term or long-term, it is central. It is part of the core of what makes up a relationship. If I'm going to be stereotypical for a moment, if you're a woman, you've potentially been taught by the culture you grew up in that sexuality is dirty, shameful, to be restrained. You lose value as a human the more sexual partners you have. So pleasure is potentially far away from your mind or difficult to achieve. Fortunately, these things are changing and women are more able to explore their sexuality and without guilt feel pleasure. But still, the problem is quite significant. If you're a man, on the other hand, you've perhaps been taught that you're supposed to initiate and conquer women, to blow their minds with how much of a stud you are, that you gain value as a human with how many partners you've had. So you behave accordingly. And that is a problem. Half jokingly, half seriously mentioned in a previous video that with regards to gender equality, when we will have the same number of prostitutes that are male and female, and both professions would be considered okay, just like any other profession, then we would be close to gender equality as a society. If you're one of the few people that naturally experience a high euphoria of eroticism throughout their relationship without having to do anything specific, then it's beautiful, and I would really want to hear your story. I want to learn from you. Everybody would ask you what's your secret. But on the other hand, if you're an individual that had trouble in their relationship around eroticism, as most of us have, you've probably also learned how to deal with it and came out better at the end of it. And we were just as interested to hear your stories. Both variants are very much okay. So the question is, with regards to eroticism, how much have you managed to explore it? Do you know how to give and receive pleasure? Do you allow yourself to without feeling guilt and the constraints of anxiety? Are you free and relaxed and enjoy the beauty, that is difficult to describe, the beauty of eroticism that words do not make justice to? Or do you just feel anxiety and fear and worry around if you are normal, if you're going to perform well enough, if you're going to feel enough pleasure, if he likes it, if she likes it, all these things? Are you aware of what turns you on and your role in turning yourself on? It's not just that your partner will push the right buttons and make the right moves in order to turn you on. You have potentially the primary role in doing so. Do you explore fantasies, or are they taboo? Do you masturbate, or is it taboo in your culture? Are you allowed to express those fantasies with your partner? Are you allowed to masturbate with your partner? Do you watch porn, and how does that affect your eroticism? Is it something negative or something positive inside your relationship? All of these questions and many more are around sexuality. How is your performance, and how does it change while you age? How does it change while you advance in a relationship and you become more complacent or perhaps bored with your partner? We all do it. Let's not again hide behind our taboos and pretend it doesn't exist. Boredom exists inside the relationship. As with anything, a car, a mobile phone, you get used to it and you get bored of it eventually. So it's difficult to maintain that erotic spark in long-term relationships, and we should acknowledge the difficulty, plan for it, and perhaps have a strategy towards it. So there you go, eroticism, an endless, juicy item, the gift that keeps on giving for all people, whether they're involved or commenting on relationships.